Bet you I'll be able to see better. That's for sure. Alright, flipping it around until I get some peoples to hang out with. Let's look at the clouds. Well, that one almost looks like Michigan. Changed my surroundings. Kinda had to. I'll explain in a few. Gosh, it's so beautiful out here. Let's see what that cloud's going to change into now. Because it definitely doesn't look like Michigan anymore. Oh, it sounds like my birds are crabbing about something. Which I did my best to make sure that they were happy. Their feeders are full. Trying my best not to get my neighbor's house in here. It almost looks like a little house up there on the right hand side of it. Oh, it's gone now. I could lay out here in this hammock all day and just listen to the birds and my wind chimes and watch the clouds go by. Got a grackle up above us. Not sure if you can see it or not. Let's try to get a little closer. Maybe. He must have heard us. I should say me, because it's just me right now. But that's okay. I talk to myself often. It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood. A beautiful day in my neighborhood. Let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, you might as well stay. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? So I'm really not sure why that just popped into my head, but hopefully I don't get copyrighted on it. Everybody loves Mr. Rogers. He was such a lovable guy. Hey, Diane. It's just me. This is a part deuce try. I was on earlier, like just a few minutes ago, and I was out in the sun And right as I said, man, it's got to be every bit of like 90 degrees out here. And it's beautiful and I love it. All of a sudden, my iPhone went black and it was like, your iPhone is too hot. It has to cool down. So, yes, me and the birds. I'm actually, because I relocated into the shade under the trees and actually right by a couple of my feeders. So every couple of minutes, I'm getting a couple of birds that are coming in like, why the hell did she move her hammock? Give me just 2 seconds. I'll turn around. How is your day going today, Diane? Are you feeling better since you're, at work? I'll turn you around in 2 seconds. Or actually, you're just listening, right? So we'll let you just listen. I don't particularly like staring at my face, as weird as that may be, especially since I'm on a YouTube channel, right? It's so peaceful. I could just stay out here all day, but I have to adult later and take my kid to the doctor and go to work. But I'm making the most of the time that I have now by lying in a hammock. Sometimes that's what you need, though, to just be able to kick back and relax and let everything else around you just drift away. Take in the sights and the sounds, even with your eyes closed. Hey, Jezebel. Adulting does suck. Sometimes, most times. At least the not fun parts of adulting. Especially the go to the doctors and go to work kind of adulting. Let's switch around. How are you, beautiful? I gotta keep you guys kind of close so I can actually see the writing. It's been a minute since I've seen you, Jezebel. I've missed you. Seems like everything's been quiet lately, but maybe that's just me. Oh, yes. Yes. Particularly, honestly, my favorite smell outdoors is when you can smell the rain coming in. And I mean, I've had some people tell me I'm crazy when I say I can smell the rain, but there is a smell to the rain. I tried this earlier, Jez, and I was out where my hammock normally is. I was soaking up some rays, and right as I was like, gosh, it's got to be like 90, and I'm loving the heat out here, and then all of a sudden my iPhone was like, I'm not. You better go cool me down. So we're hanging out in the shade now. Yeah, actually, Jez, I have like my adult hidden candy stash. I mean, it's not really hidden so much because my kids know where it is, but they know not to go into it. I had a friend long ago, probably at least 10 years ago, that her son, when I first met her, had to be about, I don't know, 4 or 5, something like that. And like my purse, there's always something sweet in my purse, and it used to always be chocolate. No shit, iPhone being a diva. But anyways, this little boy, every time I went over to his house, he'd give me some love, and I'd point out my purse, and there's this little side pocket, and that was my pocket that always had my candies in it. And one day, like, we were out at Walmart, and he starts telling his mom, chocolate, 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 and she's like, oh, no, Luke, not right now. Like, we're going through the store, blah, 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 blah. And when I had came back towards the cart, because I had walked away to grab something, he's like, puts his arm out, and he's like, chocolate! And I was like, what? So then we realized that he was calling me chocolate because he always knew that I had a special little treat in my purse, and it was generally chocolate. I'm like, well, at least he likes me. My iPhone is always being a diva, Jezebel. But I like my iPhone, so yeah. I don't have like one of the super duper fancy ones, but I have the SE, so it's like the size of the 5 with the operating system of like the 6S or the 6S Plus, which is what I had prior to getting this one. Hopefully nobody gets motion sickness. If you do, I'll stop. What time is it over there, Jezebel? I'm just wondering where you are about in your day. He was such a cute little kid, too. I actually, I'm not really in close contact with her anymore. I mean, I still talk to her. I think she's on my Facebook, but I don't really go. It's been probably a half a year since I've been on my Facebook, so that tells you how much I stay in contact. 7? Oh, okay, so you're in the evening part of your day. It's 1 o'clock here, 1:05 here in Michigan. I gotta work later on this afternoon, but then I got the next 2 days off. I dislike when I have to work the afternoon shift, but it is what it is. But I get to go in. I'm gonna be going in late today though, because normally I would be probably starting to get ready for work right now, but my daughter's doctor's appointment's in the afternoon, so I will be going into work late, which I don't mind, because I just don't. I got this really cute bird feeder. I had to move it. It was located on this tree that I'm actually under right now, but the branch it was on couldn't support it. Like, it supported the feeder and the birds just fine, but then my squirrels found it and it started making a couple of my branches droop way too much, so I've had to move it around methodically. And it's the only way that I can keep the bird or the squirrels from breaking my little tree branches, because all my little trees in the in my back area here, besides a couple of them, are real small and have just actually been growing in the 3 years that I've been here. I stopped somebody from cutting them down because they were like, they're dead, and I'm like, no, they're not. There's life there. And now I have, I don't know, like 11 small trees growing in my yard that wouldn't be here if I would have let them cut them down. That's why you always eat ice cream first, right? She should be okay. She went swimming and ended up with a problem in her ear. So, and it kind of inflamed a little bit, and she said she couldn't hear. So I was really thinking she just had swimmer's ear, like, had gotten some water trapped in there, because that's what happens when you swim in, not chlorinated water, because we're in Michigan. We have Great Lakes, and you are never more than 200 miles away from a body of water, no matter where you are in my state. So most of us aren't looking for chlorine. Anyways, but she went swimming and then had an issue with it, and it was really painful for the first couple of days, and it was swelled, and I got that to go down and to calm down. I actually did some Reiki on her, and but she says she can't hear out of it, so we're going to go to the doctor. I'm hoping she didn't rupture her eardrum. Maybe she still just has some water trapped down there. Yeah, I got this little, when squirrels are jumping around, I got this really neat little, it's like a squirrel bungee rope, and it's got a, well, it's all wrapped up right now, but I'll show you what I'm talking about so you don't think I'm crazy. See that like little green thing? It looks like a little, I guess it looks almost like a little hammock up there. But that's where it's stretchy. And so it's actually supposed to be hanging long down, but I gotta get a cob to put on it. But there's like a little anchor screw on the end of it, and you can put like sometimes I put bird feed logs on it. It came in the package with this cob, but it looked like sawdust, and I was like, man, that thing. And it said it was made with like cracked corn and blah 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 blah, and it says, oh, put some peanut butter on it to entice them to it, you know. So I'm like, okay. And then you like dangle it at the ground so they know it's there, and then you bring it up, and then they like jump and go bonkers on this little bungee cord, and it's, you know, entertainment, right? Cheap entertainment. And but anyways, I was like, well, I can get it and I'll put regular cobs on it. So in the midst of not having the cobs yet, I said, well, let's see what this thing looks like. Like, it looked like sawdust, you know. So anyways, I put it on there and I slathered some peanut butter on it. And yeah, my groundhog, I seriously was watching from my bedroom window, and my groundhog, she came up to it, and she's an eater. She's a big one. She generally isn't picky about what she's eating either. But she come up to it, and she grabbed it, and she sniffed it, and you seen her like attempt to take it, and then she just poof walked away. She like pushed it out of her way. I'm like, okay, the groundhog doesn't like it. And then after that, like, it rained a couple of days, and the thing started to like swell almost, and none of my wildlife was having it. Now, Jezebel, I had, when I first put it out here, my groundhog, she had her 5 babies out here, you know, and the only time that they would touch it was when I put like a bird feed log on it. So those cobs that came with my squirrel bungee cord, not even any of the wildlife wanted anything to do with it. They were like, what is this crazy bitch thinking? Like, she should know better. Yeah, so when after it rained and I could, you know, come out to my backyard a little bit more, like, I took it down and threw it away, and there was another one that came with it, and that one was gone too. Like, it said it was made with like cracked corn and oats and peanuts and like all this good stuff, but it seriously looked like sawdust. And when the animals, especially the groundhog, who is not picky in the least bit, pushed it away, I was like, yeah, something ain't right there. Yeah. Somebody else popped in. Hello, good afternoon or evening, whatever it may be for you. It's a lot easier to see now that my iPhone made me move. The sun's not glaring in my eyes, and I can actually read the chat. But the sun felt so good. Any good plans for your evening, Jezebel? What's the weather like over there right now? Is it like summer or like more spring like for you? Or wait, you guys are like the opposite, right? I think. I don't know. I should probably quit talking. Try to keep the closure here. Yeah, it's pretty bad when our wildlife can tell us, like, this is bad, you know. We don't want to touch it, you know. And when the animals don't want to touch it, you shouldn't be touching it either. Yeah, and the crazy thing too, and it's like it's just this huge monopoly because like they know it. They know that people are gonna come around and only buy the organic stuff. And I don't know about where you're at, but here the price to eat organic is just astronomical. So yeah, like, and I try to do I actually need to get a little bit back to it, but just cooking from scratch and taking that crap that they put into all of our food just out of the mix. It's just too bad that the organic version, unless you are able to grow it yourself, is just so much more expensive. you know Water costs more in a gas station than in a bottle of soda, and there's something wrong there. If crows don't eat it, it's poison. McDonald's. That's a very good measure. If the crows don't eat it, it's poison. I need to remember that. I love watching the birds. I am an air sign though, so makes sense. Hey Heather. Yeah, so I had did a attempted a hammock hangout. Probably it started at about 12:30, and I was out where my hammock normally is, out in the beautiful sun, soaking up the rays, and I was like, yeah, like it's really nice out here, like God, it's got to be close to about 90 degrees, blah 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 blah, and I'm loving it. And then whammo, my iPhone went black and was like, your iPhone is too hot. You need to cool it down before you can use it any longer. So I relocated my hammock under my trees. So I'm in the shade, and so far it's been working well. My phone's not overheating. Like, it was crazy. Like, I seriously set it, and my iPhone was like, whammo. So maybe it was more the universe telling me that I needed to not be out in the sun the way I was. Like, I had my legs all draped over my hammock, soaking it up. Well, that's really good, Jezebel. Now, over there, do you guys have like co-ops where like you go in on like basically the cost of feeding and raising the animals to be able to get like a portion of its meat, or at least a fraction, its meat at a fraction of the cost? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it, Heather. It is a beautiful day out here, though. I am loving it. Especially since on a normal day, well, originally I would have been getting ready for work right now, and hanging out in my hammock is way better than getting ready for work. But I only got probably about another hour left of being able to hang out, so I figured I'd jump on and give everybody a place to come and hang. Same here, Heather. I try to grow what I can. My garden is really small right now. I used to grow a huge garden, but I also used to not live where I do now. So currently, I live in a trailer park, and I have a nice private lot because my house, like, I own my house, and um, it's on the outer edge, and this is my backyard. I don't look at other homes, which is wonderful. Um, so it makes it not so bad, I guess, right? But because of where I'm at, in order, like, if I were to dig in the ground, I have to like draw up a plan and get it approved and yada yada yada, and ain't nobody got time for that. So I just do like container gardening, and this year, because of our weather, I was a little bit behind in getting everything planted, but like my pumpkins are doing great. My corn is doing phenomenal. Somebody ate the leaves off of my beanstalks. I think I have 2 beanstalks that have survived that little massacre, and I'm not very happy with whichever one of my wildlife friends did it, but perhaps they needed it more than I did. And my tomatoes are doing okay, but again, I'm behind because of weather. Well, that's cool, Jezebel. At least there's like a co-op supermarket. Yes, Heather. On both growing in containers and raccoons. I actually this year I flipped a small old like office bookcase, like the metal ones or whatever. I flipped it over on its back side and I turned that into my main garden bed. Just so I could get a new use out of it, because it was definitely past its prime, but not something I couldn't find a way to reuse. Do you have like a railing on your balcony that you could put like the planters that go on the rails? Oh no, Michelle. I'm sorry. I probably should have got on and deleted it. I can't believe I didn't think it would still be buffering. Of course, I don't think I can do that while I'm on because I'm not streaming through YouTube. So I didn't realize it would still be showing a buffering sign. So, Michelle, I originally started my stream like an hour ago, and I was out where my hammock normally is, out in the beautiful sun, and I was out soaking up the rays, and right as I said, man, it's about 9 degrees out and it's beautiful, all of a sudden my iPhone went black and said it was too hot. So I had to move my hammock underneath my trees and let it cool down to come back. So I'm sorry I didn't delete it. Maybe that's why Shauna Nene hasn't popped back into it, because she told me I went circle on her when I could respond to her. I told her I was going to be back, so maybe, I don't know, because Shauna Nene was like, why did you leave me? How are you today, Michelle? Yeah, Heather, I have, the other day, I found a family of raccoons, out here. I didn't really find them. I was sitting out on my porch with my best friend, and, it was the evening time, we were having just conversation, and, next thing I know, out of the corner of my eye, I caught Mama and 4 babies, coming up out of the wood line, going towards my bird feeder. And I didn't shoo them. Like, if you and your babies are hungry, you can come and get some. I mean, I throw peanuts and stuff all on the ground, all around everything. It's not like I don't invite them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but, so anyways, Mama and 4 babies came out, and then 2 more babies came out. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were the ones that were behind my, my bean leaves. But, oh, Jezebel, they were so beautiful. And now everybody, like my buddies are like, raccoons can get mean. You can't have your coon family coming in. Like, I got one of my best buddies. He's like, you need to let me mount your groundhog. And I was like, if you touch my groundhog, you're going to be hurt. Like, she's been here longer than me. I've been here for 3 years. She doesn't mess with my yard. I feed her. She's cool. I didn't actually know she was a her until this spring, when all of a sudden she popped into my yard with 5 little babies. Thank you very much, Heather. I appreciate it. I should have thought and deleted it. I just assumed that because it ended, it would be ended. Especially when I started a new stream on the same app, Oh, that's terrible. Oh yeah, Heather, I'm right there with you. Leave my nature alone. And that's why I told him. I was like, you fucking will not touch her. Hey, Tangerine. How are you, Tange? I wish I hope everybody doesn't get stuck. I appreciate Heather going over there and leaving a message for me. They are. They are, Heather. That's why I don't like them. I do my best to avoid them. This feeder over here, I'm gonna swap you around again. Maybe. Oop. Okay. So this feeder over here, my squirrels adore that. Uh-oh. I don't know what I did. Wow. No, we'll get closer so you can see it. But my squirrels adore my green man feeder. The birds actually don't get to that one too often. Ha! That's so cool, Tange. I told you eventually, like, I gotta go and get my my license. I need to put that enhanced thing on it so I can come across to Canada, and I'm gonna come steal you, and then we are just gonna go do a hammock hangout tour in matching hammocks. Ooh, that sounds super cool, Heather. I That's a great idea, Jezebel. Sorry, I quit talking. I was reading Jez's comment before it went away because I can't. I don't know. Maybe I can. But yes, I'm serious, Tange. And then I found out that Diane's right there in Canada too, and I think she's like 2 hours closer to me than you or something like that. I'm like, I'll get you on the way, girl. Alright, so if you guys don't mind, I'm going to swap you guys around, give you a little bit of nature view for a few minutes, because I'm going to take a couple puffs real quick. Oh, yeah, see, Diane agrees. So this little grassy hill where you see the lilies coming out of back there, this is actually right here where the long grass is. This is actually where my groundhog does live. And like I said, it's been here. I've lived in this house for 3 years, and she was here before me. And she doesn't bother nobody, nothing. I have caught her in my feeder a couple of times, and that's more so because she hadn't gotten any like fruit scraps or anything in the recent. Because like I give her like my melon rinds, and if the kids leave cantaloupe or something out, I toss it out to her. Oh, that sounds awesome, Heather. If you don't, Diane, we can get you a travel hammock, because apparently me and Tangi shop in similar manners. Yes. Yes. Like I love it. Speaking of my little garden, there's my little garden. I'm gonna go walk over there in just a minute, and I'll show you what they did to my beans. This is kind of the nice part about being able to stream outside. I can just flip you guys around and smoke and not feel bad about it. I'm not sure, Tangerine. I know I can't go over without a passport. And so if I get the enhanced license, here's my little swing that I have to move to different branches every couple of days because the squirrels get on the branches and then it can't support the weight because my trees aren't very big back here, but they're a lot more alive than what people would have made you believe. So there's my corn. And I want to show you how amazing that corn is to me because even though it doesn't look like its normal height for this time of year, I actually planted those seeds straight into the bed on the night of full moon in June. So the fact that they actually had made it to my shins by the 4th of July, you know, because I put my foot up at the base of like where the ground quote unquote starts. But all right, so then my massacred beans, like that one might do okay. It still has some leaves, I don't know, but yeah, so they had quite a treat. They ate my spinach leaves. There went my freaking tomatoes, but my pumpkins are doing absolutely awesome. Yeah, Heather, like I was so behind getting everything planted just because of the weather that we've been having up here. And I decided, like, I was behind getting it in, but then I was like, I'm waiting to the full moon because from what I read, when you plant by moon cycle, which was my original plan this year, it was going to be the full moon. And so because of the full moon, they say that the full moon builds on the plant's roots. So I figured it was best to just plant it then, right? And here is my favoriteest flower ever, is the wild daisy. I'm a simple kind of girl. I sure did say pumpkins. Ricky says Shmoo likes story time too. I like the name Shmoo. So yeah, I mean, even though I'm landed in a trailer park, I could have a worse backyard. Like I actually created this backyard because this doesn't actually come with what I rent. But they leave me alone about it because I maintain it. So, which makes me happy. Oh, I got a couple of birdies up on my feeder. Oh, they heard me. Not anymore. It's alright though. I'm going to race it back down. And this time, I'm going to do my absolute best not to flip in my hammock on live YouTube. But if you suddenly see things go flipperoo, you know what happened. Haha. You know, Jezebel, like, dandelions is something that I'm really now starting to try to like do like skin tests on, because when I was a young girl, we lived out in the country and I had been out playing in a whole field of them, having a blast, and I broke out in a rash. And anytime I touched dandelions when I was little, I would break out in a rash. So whenever I do any type of workings with a dandelion, I always have to wear gloves because I'm not sure. Yes! I was wondering why that name sounded like familiar, like it pegged something. Oh, Heather, you know what? Maybe that's me. It's because I'm speaking so low or something. I will, I'll try to make it better. See if it works better. I do have this little weird microphone thing that came with like my selfie stick, that if I plug it into my phone, it works like a little microphone, I guess, but I don't know. I feel weird. Alright. Get back station. Oh, the wind changed. It cooled down a little bit out here. Good thing, since my iPhone's being a diva today. Actually, Tangerine, where we were at when I was a child, because I grew up in the country, the field that I was in actually hadn't been sprayed. It was just behind our house, and it wasn't like a tended field because it just wasn't rented out at that point in time. But maybe it was because it was in the ground. But it seemed like even like if I picked one for my mom out of the grass or something, I would get a rash on my fingers. So I just learned to stay away from them. But then one of my friends told me that it could have been like mites on the dandelions, and those could have like bit me and caused me to get a rash, which made me go, maybe it was. As now, I wash them before I do anything, even though I'm gloved. Just got my last night that I can plug my laptop. Wow. That's crazy. Like I said, I really think it's my voice level. I back watched the read, and I thought it was a little low too. So maybe I just need to speak up or use that weird microphone thing since I'm far away from the phone or something. Quite possibly. Maybe I'm allergic to ogre pea. I mean, I hope I am. That's awesome. I feel a little awkward, like, reading. But at the same time, I don't. Like, I wanted to do it live, but I know I wouldn't stay, like, on course, on topic. Like, this version of live, I'm cool with. I can hang out and not feel like a scatterbrain. You guys would be like, wait a minute, what is she thinking about now? What? I'm all over the place. I think that's my Gemini personality. Yeah, like, it got overcast. The sun got clouded over. The wind's kind of changed. It's so beautiful out here, though. It's just not like, it's hot. Ogre pea. That would be perfect. Question is what color it is. I know you guys would distract me. It's funny. Oh. I have to force myself that, like, when I get tongue-tied and I slip up on words, I have to force myself not to fucking delete it and re-record it, because I'm like, I won't have time. I'll have to delete it 1,000 times before I actually post it. Oh. Of course, though, you could make it like different colors for like different potencies too. Working and listening. I was doing that yesterday, but I wasn't watching it live. I was watching an herbal video. What was it called? It's like Mind Vault. Something like that. Oh, Rocky's coming around. He's probably gonna try to jump on my hammock and flip me over. Come here, handsome. Come here, baby. See my baby? Oh, apparently not. There he is. There's my handsome Rocky. You guys all remember Rocky. He's a good co-host. He's like, it looks like my mom's talking to herself over there. I better go give her some company. Hey, Shauna Nene, you found me. Come on, handsome. Come on. You can come up. Come on. You can come up. No? You're just going to hang out? Shed down there? So, Shauna, what happened earlier was underneath that sun, as I was saying, it was nice and beautiful and warm. My iPhone became a diva and decided it was too hot to work. So I had to relocate my hammock and let it cool down a few minutes and start over. But I thought my other stream would like end, and apparently it's over there, circle of deathing. But you guys found me. I've never had dandelion and burdock soda. I am, though, this year excited, Jezebel. I was just actually talking about it this morning that I can't wait to start my the honey bun recipe you gave me. I think I'm going to do it not at Christmas, but I will probably I think I want to do mine either at Maven or Yule, one of the two. I haven't decided exactly which one. Yes, Heather, everybody needs a hammock. I wish I had trees in my yard that I could hang it underneath, but my portable hammock stand works perfectly. I could lay out here all day. I'm off tomorrow. I gotta be a little bit more productive tomorrow, but maybe not much. Yes, Heather. I don't know if you remember back, it was a few months ago now, I had posted like a thrift haul, and I got this really cool tin with the big giant heart that had, I believe it's either Dutch or German writing on it. And Jezebel translated it for me, and that it was for honey buns, and or at least the tin itself came from like a company that did honey buns. So she gave me a recipe for honey buns that actually it takes a year to make it. Okay, so Maven would be a great time to start one. Tange, I did it on my first one, and it was the first time in my life I had ever freaking flipped out of a hammock. First time ever, and I did it live on YouTube. Thank goodness I only had like 2 people in the room, and one of them was my niece, and so I wasn't terribly embarrassed, except for the fact that I didn't take it down. I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. Booba cords. My whole hammock, so in case you haven't done it, like mine flipped this way, and so the back side of my hammock came up over my head, and then as soon as I was able to sit up, it bounced back, and it was upright quicker than I was, that's for sure. Hey Christina, how are you? Tange, make sure you fast forward through a little bit, because it's in a little while, and I was definitely hanging out by myself for a good long while on that one, and then my niece came, so it was somewhere when like Aiden came in the room. It was because it was my niece and Aiden that got to see me flip. Yep, mine too. My daughter came in earlier when I was laying under the sun, and I went like this so I could see, and she's like, just make a cocoon in the hammock, and I can wrap myself up in it completely. If I'm laying out here in like the fall and I get a little chilly, I just like pull the sides over me and have like my head peeking out. Yeah, you ain't kidding. It was definitely a show. But But it was alright. I mean, it is what it is. And Candy, Lunaya's corner, she's like, is it still there? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't delete it. Like, I'm 100% real. I ain't got nothing to hide. So I flipped in my hammock. I laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. And then I told my hammock this afternoon when I came out to it, I was like, okay, we are not going to do this again. Do not make a fool out of me. I know. It seems like it has just been a while since we've been able to hang out like this. But I thought it was just me because I've been pretty busy lately. So I thought it was me being MIA that is why I wasn't seeing everybody. But like before I went online today, like I went through my subscription list and was like, okay, make sure I'm not interrupting anybody else that in our community, you know, that I could just go join in on. And so I was glad that I couldn't. I figure I can hang out for a little while, so I give everybody a place to chill, right? Yes, thankfully, Jezebel, I didn't hurt anything but my ego, probably. Oh, it's there, Tange. I think it's just called Hammock Hangout. But it, God, it was maybe 2 weeks ago now. Maybe 3 even. Somewhere around in there. Like, I don't know. I've been pretty busy lately, so I haven't been able to do a live, but yeah, it just, like, I got busy. Had some lots. I will be busy, but I'm going to do my best to be able to come in and out as I can because I do miss you guys. For sure. Yeah, I think, like, Tange, when I was in Lunaya's room, I think it was, like, the next day chat that I was talking about it. And, like, the views on it, I kid you not, went from, like, 10 to, like, 24 within, like, a couple hour period. I was like, well, hopefully they all got the message. They had to skip forward to get to it. The only thing I'm seeing in my subscription list from Jen lately was her the Backwoods Witchcraft, and the last I seen of that, I think that was like 3 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, something like that. You must have laughed, or no, you know what it was, Tangerine. You were, because I've only done the one other one, well, besides the failed one earlier. But it was that one. But by the time that you had gotten there, it was well before it. And yeah. Because it's seriously, like, my niece, I believe her handle is her name, so it's Mara. And then Aiden were in the room, and they were the only two in chat when it happened. Thank goodness. I know, right? They're like, I would have deleted it. I'm like, I don't care. Really, I don't. It is what it is. I fell out of my hammock. Big whoop. Well, it was funny. I told my son, I was like, I was never so happy to only have a couple viewers in. Michelle, see, you were in there. I swear, like, most of the room must have. Oh, that's funny. Great. So glad all my friends are finding fun in it, but that's okay, because like I said, I laughed. I watched it back and I laughed, which is funny because my best friend teases me when I watch back my videos because she's like, dude, you're a narcissist. I'm like, I am not. Okay, maybe a little bit, but not mostly. I don't know. I think a lot of creators watch back their videos. At least a few have. I've heard that they do. So I guess I don't feel too weird. I kind of like being able to hang out with you guys. Okay. Thank you, Diane, for piping in and not making me feel like a weirdo. I mean, I don't watch them back like repeatedly or anything, but I do watch them back. Almost every one or every other one or so. Ouch. How did you do that, Shauna Nene? Ain't that the truth, Jess? Oh, because I definitely laughed my fucking ass off. Oh, good luck, Tange. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I love you too, and I will do my best. Well, thanks. It kind of reminds me, it's weird, it kind of reminds me of reading to my kids, because I read to my kids all the time. Like, I love reading, and I wanted to foster a love of reading in my kids. You know, I grew up watching my mom read. My kids have grown up watching me read, and I have children that enjoy to read. Well, my youngest still kind of not so much, but she's coming around a little bit. I actually got her a book on spiritual and nature. Gosh. It's called The Magic in Me, or The Magic Inside Me, something like that. And it's like an age-appropriate journal walkthrough. Not anything like, like domineering on witchcraft or anything like that. But just spiritual for these young girls, because it was directed to girls. And I love it. She likes it, and if she likes reading it, then I will continue to look for stuff from that person. Bye, Tange. Good luck. And you said it's for another channel, so if it's not on your channel, make sure we get some kind of link for it so we know where to go. Channel is going to change. I was going to do astrology. We have a different idea. Oh gosh, Lunaya's on. Okay, hey, she's on live, and I'm at like almost my time to not be able to be live anymore. So how about we all jump over to Candy's live? I just got the notification that she's live, and I'll see you guys all there in a little bit. Michelle, I'm gonna jump over to Lunaya's corner. I haven't been able to catch conversation with her for a little while, and I miss her. So I am going to close my stream, and I'm going to head over to Lunaya's corner and hopefully see you guys all there. And then, Shauna Nene, when we get in there, you can tell us what you're doing with your channel, because I'm interested, and I didn't mean to change the topic, but we got to go see Candy.